你看好大的爱，全部都死了。
山架这面那个有个烟花爆炸的，
A devastating
天我以
landslide
为
has
都是
shaken
地
the
震那个
mountainous city of
吓死的
Chongqing,
人。
China, leaving behind destroyed buildings, damaged roads, and terrified residents. Dramatic footage captured on camera reveals the terrifying power of nature as tons of rock, mud, and debris suddenly rushed down steep hillsides, swallowing everything in their path. The shocking scenes have quickly spread across social media and major television networks, becoming one of the most talked about natural disaster stories of the week. The collapse happened with little warning. Residents living near the unstable slopes described hearing deep rumbling sounds before the mountainside suddenly began to move. Within moments, the earth cracked apart, trees collapsed, retaining walls failed, and enormous waves of mud buried structures that had stood for years. Dust filled the air while frightened families rushed to escape the rapidly expanding danger zone. Emergency crews immediately responded after local authorities received reports of collapsing buildings and blocked transportation routes. Firefighters, rescue teams, engineers, and medical personnel were dispatched to search for anyone trapped beneath the debris. Heavy construction machinery was brought into the affected area as crews worked carefully to stabilize the unstable ground before beginning large-scale recovery operations. The dramatic disaster highlights the growing challenges faced by mountainous regions during periods of persistent heavy rainfall. Continuous precipitation can slowly weaken underground soil layers, allowing water to penetrate deep beneath the surface. As pressure builds inside the hillside, the ground gradually loses stability until gravity overcomes the remaining resistance. When that critical point is reached, an entire section of land can suddenly collapse without giving residents enough time to react. Videos circulating online show terrifying moments as massive sections of the hillside break apart. Large rocks bounce downhill with incredible force, while thick waves of mud flow through streets, carrying vehicles, concrete, and vegetation. Several eyewitnesses describe the sound as resembling continuous thunder echoing through the mountains. The event has attracted attention from international media organizations, including CNN, BBC News, Reuters, Associated Press, ABC News, Sky News, NBC News, CBS News, Fox Weather, Al Jazeera, and many regional broadcasters that continue monitoring developments as emergency operations unfold. Images of the destruction have become powerful reminders of how quickly natural disasters can transform entire neighborhoods. Rescue workers continue searching every damaged structure using specialized equipment capable of detecting movement beneath collapsed materials. Drones equipped with high-resolution cameras are flying over dangerous sections of the landslide to identify unstable areas, while engineers assess the risk of additional ground movement. Thermal imaging technology is also being used during nighttime operations to improve the chances of locating survivors. Authorities have established safety zones surrounding the damaged hillside, preventing residents from returning until geologists determine that the area is stable. Additional rainfall remains a major concern because saturated ground can continue shifting long after the initial collapse. Even relatively small amounts of new precipitation may trigger secondary landslides capable of extending the destruction. Experts explain that landslides rarely occur because of a single factor. Instead, they often result from a combination of geological conditions: steep terrain, soil composition, underground water pressure, erosion, and prolonged rainfall. Mountainous cities like Chongqing must constantly monitor slopes that become increasingly vulnerable during periods of intense seasonal rain. China experiences thousands of geological hazards every year due to its vast mountain ranges, changing weather patterns, and complex landscape. Provinces with steep valleys frequently face landslides, rockfalls, debris flows, and flash flooding after extended periods of rainfall. Advanced monitoring systems now use satellite imagery, rainfall sensors, and ground movement detectors to identify areas showing signs of instability before catastrophic failure occurs. The terrifying footage from Chongqing demonstrates just how quickly conditions can change. In only a matter of seconds, stable-looking hillsides transformed into powerful rivers of mud and debris capable of crushing reinforced buildings. Vehicles parked along nearby roads were either buried or pushed aside by the overwhelming force of the moving earth. Many survivors described experiencing complete disbelief during the first moments of the disaster. Some reported seeing small rocks falling only minutes before the major collapse occurred. Others noticed cracks appearing in roads and retaining walls shortly before hearing loud cracking sounds from the hillside. These subtle warning signs often appear shortly before large landslides, although they may not always provide enough time for evacuation. Meteorologists continue analyzing recent weather patterns that affected the Chongqing region. Persistent heavy rainfall over several consecutive days significantly increased soil moisture levels. When water fills underground spaces between soil particles, it reduces friction and weakens the structural integrity of the slope. Eventually, gravity takes control, causing enormous sections of land to slide downhill with tremendous force. The rescue mission remains extremely dangerous because unstable ground can continue moving unexpectedly. Emergency responders must constantly monitor surrounding hillsides while searching damaged buildings. Engineers carefully evaluate every structure before allowing rescue teams to enter areas threatened by further collapse. Powerful excavators remove debris layer by layer, while search dogs inspect areas that machinery cannot safely reach. Every operation is performed slowly to minimize vibrations that might trigger additional movement. Specialized listening devices help detect even the faintest sounds beneath collapsed concrete and mud. Local hospitals remain prepared to receive injured residents, while emergency shelters provide temporary accommodation for families forced to leave their homes. Volunteers distribute food, drinking water, blankets, hygiene supplies, and medical assistance as displaced communities begin coping with the aftermath of the disaster. Natural disasters such as this remind us that even modern infrastructure can be overwhelmed by the immense forces of nature. Despite advances in engineering, forecasting technology, and emergency management, landslides remain among the most unpredictable geological hazards on Earth. As investigations continue, geologists will study the failed hillside in detail to better understand exactly what caused the collapse. Every major landslide provides valuable scientific information that may improve future monitoring systems and early warning technologies designed to save lives. For now, rescue operations remain the highest priority as crews continue working around the clock in difficult conditions. The people of Chongqing face a long recovery process, but emergency responders, engineers, medical personnel, and volunteers remain committed to helping affected communities rebuild after one of the region's most dramatic natural disasters.